Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim. All kids out.
Lego Lord of the Rings Balrog raised eyebrows for what some fans say is an unfortunate pose. I see it. I see it. Oh, I see it. It's taking a piss on Gandalf.
You shall not!
And he says to her, listen, you got a fine white girl ass.
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
I think I've died and gone straight to honker heaven. Boobs are amazing.
Amazing. Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Dive, the Double Ds, where you, the audience, are in charge. And you're not throat goats. You're not throat goats. Being a throat goat is a terrible thing to be. Will we have coughing today? I don't know. The cough was just terrible yesterday. It kept going all day. I've had a little bit this morning. I'm hoping I can resist the urge. We cannot have repeats of yesterday. Either way, I'm happy to have everybody here. I'm a little fired up for various reasons. I've got a couple of definite topics I'm going to talk about today. And then, of course, I would like to make some statements on things. I really would. Just because certain people are complete and total trash. You can be really great at something. You can be a phenomenal artist. You can be just top tier. It doesn't mean you're a good person. Be a trash individual. And I don't like drama. I do not. I don't like drama. Drama is for high school. It is for children. It is for people who have nothing better to do with their lives, especially if they are content creators. If you can't make something, if you can't create a show every day out of the blue and talk about things that have nothing to do with drama, then you are a failure as a content creator. Why am I talking about this? I'm starting off this because I want to get this off my chest. This has been building since last night. And I feel some level of responsibility that this is a thing because I started it. And I didn't start, I'm not saying I started drama. I started the event that has led to this. What am I talking about? I'm on a little show called Ballbusters. Many of you are familiar with that because I share an audience with Dermy. I have been a member of Ballbusters from its inception, whether I like it or not. I've been there since the beginning. And in this day, in this moment, in this here and now, in 2025, I strive to make all shows I am involved in to be the best they can possibly be. That means coming up with entertainment for the audience, ideas, fresh things that not only gets the audience involved, but are stupid and silly and fun. We are, and I'm saying this seriously, we who do this stuff, we are in a sense dancing monkeys for you. We put on shows for you in the chat, in the audience, subscribers, whether you're watching it live or coming back on a replay. We are your dancing monkeys. We are here to entertain you, make you laugh, make you pointing us, go, you goddamn retards. This is great. And you're so stupid, but I love it. We are here for fun. And especially on Ballbusters, which is a zany show. where a lot of crazy shit gets said. It's an avenue for me to introduce stupid ideas for maybe Dermy to do because it is his show and he is the one earning the money through super chats and tips. But in a sense, for us to be your entertainment and us to do stuff that is new and fun. And also, like I said, to get you involved. The idea of Dermy karaoke was my idea. It was my idea. I thought, wouldn't it be funny? Because now Dermy's done some really dumb shit to himself, but I thought, what if we have him do something stupid that isn't inherently harmful to him physically and is essentially harmless fun? It's cringe, it can be stupid, but it's harmless. And if he wants to do it and the chat wants to do it, then all parties are equally responsible for what's going on. Everybody's involved, everybody's agreed to this, and it's harmless. And it's not degrading because guess what? We all sing, and unless you are a professional singer, we all sound stupid when we sing, especially if there's no music. And that's kind of the game for Dermy karaoke, is that he has to sing without the music because of YouTube's copyright stuff. So it's one way around it, but it also makes for funny content, funny clips. So I am the creator of Dermy karaoke. It was my idea, and I take responsibility for that. And I did it in good fun. And so far, for the 2 times we've done it, the chat, you guys, those of you there, you have participated, you've played your role, and we've had a good time. Apparently yesterday, I'm not sure, I don't know the full story of how it got there. All I know is that it was retweeted. Apparently, somewhere, somehow, somebody, I will assume at the moment, a possible Comicsgate bottom-lurking troll who has no love for Dermy, even though Dermy and myself are old-school Comicsgate, old CG from years ago when it was still someplace fun and not perverted with trash. Somewhere, somehow, somebody who wanted to get involved with malice clipped out Dermy doing one of the karaoke. I believe it was I'm Coming Out. And then they sent it to the throat goat himself, Ethan Van Sciver, EVS. And then EVS proceeded to react to Dermy karaoke, to Dermy singing there, and behaved like the piece of bottom-feeding, pig filth sniffing trash that he is. I don't want to get involved in drama, but when you go after my friend who has nothing to do with you and nothing directly to do with your own drama farming, you pie-swilling fat piece of shit, I'm going to take umbrage. I'm going to take issue with it. Because Dermy essentially is on nobody. Dermy's out there doing his thing, having fun on that show in a skit that I designed and that he approved of and the chat approved of by participating in it. And you're going to clip it out, take a shit on him. Okay, A Serious Man did it? Okay, I didn't know who the clip was from. Okay, A Serious Man did it with non-intent, but EVS still got a hold of it. All right, so A Serious Man just clipped it for funsies, which he does for all of us. That's fine. That is fine. I'm not going after A Serious Man. Okay, he didn't do it mouse. When I said malicious intent, I meant sent to EVS with malicious intent. That is my meaning of that. It was sent to EVS with malicious intent. And EVS reacted to it. And that wraps it up in the trash lolcow drama shit that he does with his eternal hard-on to go after Eric July and members of FNT. Dermy doesn't. I mean, listen. Dermy's a big boy. He can take the joke. He can take the joke, and he's going to let it roll off his back. If Dermy couldn't take jokes, Dermy would have crawled into a corner and cried by now and be a whimpering mess. But as someone who was directly involved with this incident or this situation, I'm going to step forward and take some responsibility. But also, on Dermy's behalf say, fuck you, EVS. You lolcow swimming piece of shit. And let's take a moment, as someone who was there for years watching that stuff, just quietly in the chat, just quietly. Let's remember, what has EVS done for money? Like the whore that he is on camera. Oh, remember the time he ate a whole fucking apple pie? He went to Walmart, bought an apple pie because his chat paid him to do it, and then ate it like the fucking fat pig that he is. One-handing slices going, like that. You hypocritical piece of shit. The amount of things, the list I could go down of whorish behavior you have done on stream for money, and then to take a clip of Derby doing a same kind of transaction, getting money from the chat to do something silly, and then react to it with your dyed beard because you can't stand that all your facial hair is gray, so every couple months you dye it to look like a painted fucking freak on screen, which you've been doing for years. To sit there and go, to do that. You could go fuck yourself. You could go fuck yourself royally. You hypocritical, frog-toad licking, wannabe toy mogul, dumb motherfucker. Why don't you finish your comics, EVS? Why don't you finish your comics and fulfill your promises to your paid customers? Customers who paid you for a product. Why don't you do that instead of continue to be a lolcow drama trash farming piece of excrement? You are a worthless fat cow. And if one of you CG trollers are out there and see this, go ahead and send this to him. I'm not afraid of that piece of shit. I know all the dirt. I was there for years. I could go through list. I could compile and go through the list of all the horrendous shit EVS did to himself and to other people, pretending to be a victim. You want to play that game with my memory? I will play that goddamn game. I am not afraid of your shrinking CG world, your insignificant, tiny little traction sphere that is worthless. So EVS, if you ever see this, go fuck yourself. You want to pick on somebody? Pick on me. Don't pick on my friend. You fat fuck. There, I've said my piece. And I got through it without coughing. Props to me. I'm still gonna craft you 98 gear. You went and bought it. Okay, you went and bought the 740 gear. Okay, all right, you're fine then. You're fine. That's what I did when I hit 100. I went out and bought the 740 gear. That's what I did. Yeah. And problem is, crafting the 740 gear is expensive. It's more expensive than what you did server hopping for the best deal. It's more expensive. There's the cough. Excuse me. Hang on. I got to do a big one. Hold on. Sorry about that. I got to blow the nose now. Excuse me. Hold on 1 second. That is a deal, Kel. I probably spent over $1 million when I bought my 100K set. Then again, we were on a different server at the time. We were still on Midgard Stormer, which is a much, well, that shard is a much more expensive shard. But yeah, I remember when I hit 100 on Viper, I just went out and bought it. Yeah. Now you can't do it yet. Now you could do what you want to do, at least for the main hand. When the time comes, once you start getting the proper tombstones, you can do what I just did and upgrade to the 745 main hand through using the heliometry tombstones to purchase the appropriate trade and stuff, like I just did for my main hand. But you're better off than just waiting to use once you get there the mathematics to get the 750, like I'm doing right now. Of course, by the time you get there, We might be up to the third tier by then. So you never know. You never know. Have a drink real quick. Excuse me. Okay, I'm sorry to start off the stream that way, everybody. But I had to say that. I had to say that because that pissed me off. That really pissed me off. It was uncalled for. Whatever hard on EVS has to continually go after Eric July and members of FNT with his fucking puppets and shit like that, which is also degenerate and weird. Dermy has no there's no reason to go after Dermy. None whatsoever. Dermy is simply a fan of those channels. He's not a member of Geeks and Gamers. He's not a team member of Nerdrotic. Nothing. So there's no reason to take a pot shot at Dermy. Dermy, who's harmless. Dermy, 6'5", gentle giant who's fucking harmless. You want to go after somebody? Go after me. I've taken plenty of pot shots at the fucking throat goat who licks fucking toilets and smokes crack with lesbians in a parking lot. But I don't. They have. Well, if they, I'm assuming they're going to announce the next expansion probably first quarter next year. I bet they're going to announce it first quarter because we'll get. We're either. I think we're going to get 7.4 probably next month. That's my guess. Probably next month. Maybe December. Maybe December. That'll wrap up Dawn Trail. And then we'll get the next expansion. And we're there. Anyway, again, once again, I apologize for doing a somewhat angry, non-pop culture rant, doing a drama rant. But again, Dermy's my friend, and Dermy does not deserve to be dragged into EVS's trash pile of log hell drama because Dermy has nothing to fucking do with it. Dermy was just doing a skit on our show that I was responsible for creating. You can fuck right off. I'm still pissed. Even though I got the rant out of me, I'm still pissed. I'm pissed off. Okay. What do we got today, though? Getting on with the day. The rules do apply, and I have two other Adam-focused segments I want to get into. But as usual, if you want to play the game, and also before we get going, if you're here or not yet, Fernandez T, he sent in another $13.37 to thank us for giving him anime recommendations yesterday. So thank you. Oh, Brad, I need to talk to you about your fourth one. You haven't chosen it yet. I have an idea for next Dermy karaoke. I've already run it by Dermy, and he's okay with it. But you still have a fourth song, and I would like to claim it and use it with your permission. But I'll talk about it this Sunday. I'll bring it. It's a good idea. It's a great idea. It's a great idea. Dermy likes it. I've run it by a couple other people. They think it's funny. Yeah. Well, I'm not Geeks and Gamers. I'm not Nerdrotics. I am myself. Frankly, I am on the edge of our sphere because I don't really like a lot of the things our sphere does anymore. So I'm not directly involved with anybody. I am friends with members of Geeks and Gamer. I don't really know. I have had association with people who are on Team Nerdrotic. I've done streams with them, but I have friends who are members of Geeks and Gamers. But I am not Geeks and Gamers. I do not associate myself with Geeks and Gamers. I don't even call myself part of the 199. I am simply somebody who hangs out in the chat on occasion and watches a stream. That is all I am. So that is that. And but if you're a Comicsgate, you are an EVS simp. Don't be gay, Jed. Don't be gay. Anyway. Oh, you have? Is it ready? Is it ready? I teased this yesterday. The Latinum Lounge one is ready. Where I crashed out on poor Hitman with the TNG uniforms. It's a funny one. It's a funny one. Anyway, so rules are apply as the same. $5 for an Adam rant. We got one for free today, but that was of my own choosing. $10 gets you a question to ask. I'll tell you no lies. We did that yesterday when Fernandez just generously offered money, but that earned him a question. So he asked, what can you help me with some anime? And we gave him some recommendations. Then $10 also rents me for 30 minutes to play a video game for you, streaming live or recorded. We have banked stuff for that, but you guys know the drill on that. $15 gets an Adam hot take reaction on an article we may see in the news or one you may have found you want me to react to. Try not to cough. $20 gets you everybody's favorite Adam reacts to a video, must suffer through it. And $30 gets you chat, maybe watches reviews, which we have one for today. And I forgot to take a screenshot, so we're going to have to take a minute here as I go get it. I forgot to set it up. But we do have a chat, made me watch this reviews today, courtesy of loyal subscriber, Setlick3, the evil Roy Slade, 1972, with quite the cast. But, oh my God, what the hell did I watch yesterday? I'll tell you what I watched. I watched literally early 1970s slop. I'm sorry, Setlick. If you like this movie, I'm sorry. But my God, what a horrible movie. That movie was atrocious. And had actual funny people in it. Actual television and stand-up comedians. And everything from it had Dom DeLuise in it, and it wasn't funny. So we got to chat, maybe watch his reviews. You have to give me a chance to set it up because I honestly got caught up in doing something else before the stream started, and I forgot to set that up. Because I got angry, I forgot that I had that segment. So I got 3 segments for you. I got 2 things I want to talk about that are newsworthy that I want to give to you anyway, commentary on. And then I will give you my take on that little bit of Star Wars thing that came out yesterday with Adam Driver, because that dropped last night. And of course, I have a thought on it. Of course, I have thoughts on that. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that and laugh at it. Anyway, well, you bring that up. You bring this up, Legatus. The Fandom Menace wasn't even. The Fandom Menace was simply a. This is what people don't understand, because I was there. The Phantom Menace was simply a banner that people rallied under who were angry with what was going on. And when it broke apart for both internal reasons and also simply content choice designs, it wasn't it was never a thing. It was Phantom Menace existed for like a year. And those who hate what it stands for think it still exists. It doesn't exist. It barely existed. And then certain channels became bigger than it was, and certain channels became jealous of it was. And yes, all of these channels who worked together for a time, or at least were friendly with each other, they went their own ways. Or in some cases, like with Gary and Jeremy, they decided to team up and continue in their own direction. Whereas World Class Bullshitters did their own thing. We know the history of what happened between Gary and Doomcock. And of course, Comicsgate descended into its degeneracy and its psychopathy. It's insanity of what it did. So what it became. So we know what was going on there. Oh, hey, look at that. I just realized studio went back to normal. I just realized, okay, if you guys don't know this, YouTube Studios for a week, it was this weird new thing they were doing. It's back to normal. I like it like it is normal, not the way the tapping. Oh, thank you. I guess YouTube decided, yeah, guess what? It wasn't working. People didn't like it. I just realized, wow, your studio looks normal again. I'm looking at everything where it needs to be. Anyway, so I got 2 things we're going to do. 2 things. I'm going to do first segment here. Then we're going to do the news. Then I'm going to do another segment. And then if you guys got anything else, we'll do that. And then we'll end with chat, maybe watch reviews for Evil Roy Slade. But I will take a moment to set up. Anyway, so what are we going to start with? We're going to start with this. This is real news, real actual news in the entertainment world. We have touched on it both here and on Roundtable. We have done a couple of segments on it, but that's when it was just what ifs. It is now apparently for realsies. What am I talking about? Warner Brothers Discovery is actually now for sale. Warner Bros. Discovery is for sale. David Zaslav has made it clear that multiple parties. He hinted at that a little while ago. He said, we want to make it a bidding war. So now apparently, excuse me, he has his bidding war. Now, do we know who the multiple parties are? Not really. But strategic options include continuing the previously announced split and spin a la NBC Universal and Verizon. So they're continuing to break down Warner Discovery for tax purposes and debt purposes to shuffle things around. But we do not know who is interested. But I'm sure a lot of the big name companies and investment groups are out there circling this chum in the water. Because let's be perfectly brutally honest. Despite being one of the most dysfunctional companies in the world when it comes to making movies and TV shows and making games and all that stuff, Warner Brothers, we'll take the Discovery part out of it, Warner Brothers has one of the most desirable entertainment catalogs out there. They have control over parts of Lord of the Rings. They have control over DC, Superman, Batman, the entire DC stuff. They have control over that. They control Harry Potter. They control a lot of things that are still quite popular when executed properly. That being said, they themselves have failed to actually make money on some of the most powerful IPs in current modern entertainment. And I say that knowing that I'm about to launch into my next part of this. So Warner Brothers is for sale. We know that excuse me again. We know that Paramount Skydance made a tender offer last month, and Warner Brothers rejected it. That doesn't mean Paramount Skydance isn't going to go anywhere, but that started the conversation. And our response to it when we talked about it is, no, we don't need another monopoly. Making large companies having control of all these different IPs hasn't worked so far, and it's not going to work in the future. But that hasn't stopped anybody else from now coming in. And it begs the question, and I'm going to bring it back to my favorite punching bag as of late. James Gunn's DCU. We were told all summer by stans, shills, that Superman 2025, James Gunn's Superman, was a wild success, that it did what no other Superman movie ever could do, that it made Superman fun again, punk rock is kindness and that kind of crap. It set the stage for Supergirl because everybody wants to F Millie Alcock. That's the only reason they're interested in that movie right now. It's not because Millie Alcock is some all-time great actress or that they're going to make a really good Supergirl story because they're using Tom King's background crap. No. They've created a whole scenario that it's so good, so healthy, so great that we're all just haters and Snyder bros, even though I don't like the Snyderverse either. If that did so well, if it made so much money, if it had secured the financial future for Warner Discovery, then how come Warner Brothers is for sale now? How come? The answer is very simply, James Gunn's DCU did not save Warner Discovery. If James Gunn's DCU, if James Gunn's Superman had made, excuse me, had made $1 to $2 billion, which it should have if executed properly, then Warner Brothers would not be for sale. They would have financial security. The money would be rolling in. They'd have a clear path to solvency. Let's ride Superman and the other members of the Justice League into the future. Let's do this. But no, it was a financial disaster. It was a movie that cost, when you include all the production budget and marketing, it cost almost $600 million. which means at making only $615 million, it lost money. We have the fictional lost money of about 40-odd million dollars, $85 million. Then there's the actual losses of probably $200 to $300 million in loss. So they ate it hard with the failure of Superman 2025, which puts them now, to use the terminology, they're in play. They're vulnerable. They cannot possibly mount any sort of defense for a takeover. So now, instead of playing the takeover game where a lot of people probably lose their jobs, they're going to lose their jobs anyway. Now Zaslav has said, we're for sale. We are for sale. You can buy us on the cheap as long as I get my golden parachute, most likely. And this is not good news for anybody. Because as I said a moment ago, we don't need more monopolies. Look at what Disney has turned itself into. It's a monstrosity that can't take care of its own IPs. So we don't need a monopoly, and we don't need Amazon coming in and doing it. Look what they did with MGM Studios. They've destroyed every product that they purchased with that. Every bit of the MGM library is tanking. Apple, I don't know if Apple's going to do it. Apple has more money than God. They're like Amazon. They have more money than God. They're very solvent. But Apple, this kind of stuff, it's a Downing seed. Listen, they use it to set up other marketing strategies. I don't think Apple's in the business of making movies or television that well. I don't think they want to do it. I think they connect it to other shit. And of course, Disney, they ain't going to do it. They can't afford anything. And Disney's already too big. Maybe if Disney did it, somebody would actually have to start enforcing antitrust laws. They'd actually have to fucking do it. I don't believe they do it because they should have enforced it in the first place. Disney should not have been allowed to buy 20th Century Fox for $72 billion, which they still haven't earned any money back on yet. This is a bad scenario that these companies who own some of the greatest modern entertainment IPs, some of the most culturally significant IPs in history. You own Batman, you own Superman, you own Harry Potter, you own a large bit of Lord of the Rings, Tolkien's world, and you can't make money on that? They're going to lose money with Hunt for Gollum. DCU's already lost money, and Harry Potter reboot on HBO Max is shaping up to be a disaster. You have all this stuff, and you can't make money on it. You can't do it. How incompetent are you? You're incompetent enough that now you have to sell. I mean, once upon a time, in the 20th century, in the mid to late 20th century, all these studios were individual studios that fought each other to be on top. And now they're just getting swallowed up by one corpo after another. Pretty soon, if they don't enforce antitrust laws, we will have one giant corporation that owns all of entertainment. Just better hope it's not the government. Better hope that. Either way, this is not good. More than ever, makes me not care about supporting any of this stuff. I'm more interested in what I'm doing. I'm more interested in new ideas. I don't want. I'll go back to what was great, but I'm not interested in new stuff like this. Not at all. Not at all. Warner Brothers Discovery for sale. It's a fire sale. Now, will they break it up? Who knows? Will they sell it off in parts? Who knows? I don't know what the laws are for that. I'd have to do the research. I don't want to do that research because it's not my forte. But I don't know if they can break things up and sell it piecemeal, piece by part. I don't know. But that may end up being a possibility. And someone may buy it for the whole kit and caboodle. Either way, this is not a good sign for entertainment. Not a good sign. You don't want anybody buying this shit up. Not at all. Oh, boy. Can we go back to the good old days? I don't know. And once again, I have to blow my nose. Excuse me. I hope it's not BlackRock. Brad, I would support your bid for it. $10 and a warm bucket of spit. Yeah. Because at that point, that's all it's worth. That's all it's worth. Amazon would, if they do break it apart, I could see Amazon trying to buy the Lord of the Rings part of it. I could see that. Because that, like you say there, that would tighten up their bullshit. So that's a possibility. There you go. All right, so hit that like button, guys. If you guys are having a good time, please hit the like button. It's an easy thing to do. All right, let's go through the news, and then I'll get into my second segment, and let's see what else is going on out there, because that was part of the news. My other segment is also part of the news, but I wanted to make sure you guys know that you don't have to pay for those discussions. I did that with my own free will. Okay, here we go. I didn't refresh these. I should refresh these. Hold on one second. Let me refresh these. It was a good 40 minutes ago when I set these up. I want to make sure it's top of the news. Okay, there we go. Let's get that out of the way. Go away. All right, bringing it back. Oops. I'm a retard. No. There we go. Okay. Mariah Carey named MusiCare's 2026 Person of the Year. Sure. Anything says HBO Max release date. I don't know what that is. K-pop Demon Hunters, toys, dolls, games, and more coming. Netflix inks unique co-master deals with Mattel and Hasbro. Now that's money right there. That's money. That's a money. They're going to make a bunch of money on that. That's smart. That's smart. That's a smart deal. Neon Waypoint Entertainment signed multi-picture slate financing deal, including Sentimental Value, No Other Choice, and more. I need someone to tell me what that means. I've never heard of any of that. Sinners gets IMAX re-release for Halloween. That's a smart play. People might want to go re-see it for Halloween. I don't care about Shakira. I never did. Catan movies and TV series works. Whoa. Settlers of Catan, Spacefarers of Catan. That could be interesting, but it's Netflix, so it's either going to be good or complete DEI bullshit. So I might check that out. I don't have a ton of lore. I just played the board games a few times back in the day, but that could be interesting. I like those board games because they would have set rules, but we'd make up our own rules during the game. Like when we played Spacefarers of Catan, we would have embargo. Like basically, if you were being too much of a pushy person in terms of what you're doing, go, you know what? Embargo. No trade with you. And they'd be like, yeah, we're all going to embargo you. We're not going to trade. Trade embargo. Nope, not going to happen. So that's how we would kind of rebalance the scales in that game. The night Michael Jackson trashed a studio in the midst of a They Don't Care About Us media firestorm. Book excerpt from You've Got Michael. Okay. Sundance sits. I don't care about that. New Girl Rewatch podcast. Why? I don't know. The Apprentice screenwriter Gabriel Sherman signs with Cinentiq. Whatever. Oh, here comes some fake gaming. New York Game Awards expanded to 2-day festival. Oh, who cares? It's an award, so who cares? All worthless. Music, don't care. Don't care. Already saw that from the other day. He's not going to be in it. Jon Stewart is a piece of shit. So is Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller says comedies were challenging current political climate. Speaking truth to power is more important support. Wow. Ben Stiller, one, has never been funny. And two, you are a bought and paid for political talking piece. Or mouthpiece, excuse me. Shut up. Just shut up. Go have fun with your buddy right here. Go fun. Jeez, you don't hate these people enough. Oh, speaking truth to power. Why weren't you speaking truth to power during the previous administration? Oh, because you're on board with commie Marxist shit being done. You know who was funny? Your father, Jerry Stiller. He was funny. You are not. Ticketmaster. Oh, okay. We're well into that. Well into yesterday. None of this is interesting. Let's move on to IGN. Game companies compete in the kitchen for charity. Whatever. Shut up. Borderlands. Who cares about Borderlands 4? It's done. It's over. Nobody cares. Apple hit TV Dramedy Shrinking gets season 3 premiere date. Sure. I haven't watched it, and I'm probably not going to watch it. Netflix snaps up rights to make films about Katana. Again, we just talked about that. That might be interesting. It might be. Liz Olsen, who I would do many sexual things with. It's good to put her down, and then I miss her and I want her back. MC star Elizabeth Olsen says she'd jump at the chance to play Scarlet Witch again, but is the character still alive? Of course she's alive. Nothing ever dies. Warner Discovery in play. Talk about that. Warner confirms HBO Max price increase effective immediately. If it's so successful, why do you need to raise the prices? Kirby Air Riders direct with director Mahashiro Sakurai set for this week. Brace yourself for 60 minutes on the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. I don't care about Kirby. Even if I was a Nintendo guy, I wouldn't care about Kirby. Nier Automata, Yoko Taro warns nearly half of his autograph resellers are fake. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Never buy an autograph. Okay, never get an autograph unless you see the person sign it. You might be getting scammed. You just might be getting scammed. Don't care about PS Plus extra crap because even though I have it, I don't care about that stuff. I just have it so I can play online games with my friends. Marathon play test where a great A/B test for us, Arc Raiders dev says. Yeah, I heard that game got some good results. South Park season 27 and season 20 having just 5 episodes each was reportedly Trey Parker and Matt Stone's plan all along. Bullshit. Bullshit. You are getting clowned. You are getting dumped on for your insane season 27 Trump obsession. So you pulled the plug instantly. I mean, think of all the bullshit they spouted during that. Oh, we meant not to have an episode ready for this week. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're full of it. And now, we planned it all along. Yeah, can I sell you a bridge in Brooklyn for some of your billions that you have? Because I owned it. I've owned it all along. I always have. I lived in New York for 4 years as a little kid, and then for half a year in culinary school. That gives me a right to own the Brooklyn Bridge, so I guess I own it. Can you give me some of your billions for it? How about that? Give me a fucking break. Halo co-creator Marcus Leto, disappointed Ridgeline staff were not properly credited in Battlefield 6, says they built the foundation of the game. It sounds like a lot of developer drama that I don't care about. Twitch CEO Dan Clancy responds to Emery TwitchCon assault says it's a challenge in today's society and not limited to Twitch. All right, I have no real commentary on any of this, save for what I've seen others cover. There was no security. It's not a challenge to have security. You hire people to stand in key places to protect the talent that are there. And trained security can spot trouble coming a mile away. It's not a challenge. You're a clown. Your platform is trash, and you support pieces of shit like Hassan Piker. Therefore, I don't care what you think or what you say. You're worthless, and I hope Twitch burns down one day. Charlie Cox says flat out that Daredevil is not in Spider-Man Brand New Day or Avengers Doomsday. Well, I mean, nobody cared about your re-release, your rebooted version. So what does it matter? Nobody was asking for it. Konami revealed 3 new Silent Hill games at once, so fans knew it was serious about resurrecting the horror franchise. Okay. Here it is. Here it is. And we will be coming back to this in a moment. There was almost a Ben. They wanted a Kylo Ren Ben Solo sequel movie. We'll come back to that in a moment. That's my other piece right there. And now we're stuff from yesterday. So let's check out here. CNN Plus lasted less than a month with new streaming service CNN All Access to repeat the same fate. Who cares? Why are you even covering this? This isn't pop culture news. Ridiculous. And everything else is from yesterday. That's all from yesterday. Disney quietly removes iconic Hollywood Studios archway after 36 years. Wow. Boop, 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 boop. All right. There's the news. I'm sticking to it. I'll give you guys a chance to consider one of those or consider other things on the day while I move on to my next segment that I want to talk about before we then go on to chat. Made me watch this reviews. Actually, you know what? Let me set up one thing. Let me. I'll chat with you for a second. Let me set up Evil Roy Slade real quick before we get into the next segment. Because we're gonna. I don't know how long we're gonna spend on that. Evil Roy Slade. Yeah, that's gonna. That'll be a perfectly fine picture for my background because of the quality of what it was on YouTube where I watched it. I can't get a good screen cap for it. Either way, okay. Let's get this done here. All right, so I'm always excited to take a dump on Disney Star Wars. Let's be honest. It may not always be something people really care about, but I care about making sure that everybody remembers that Disney Star Wars was, is, and always will be trash, dumpster fire, hot garbage. Now, there's a lot of Disney Star Wars news going around right now. Bunch of numbers being put out there for this cost this cost that the sequel movies didn't make any money. Guess what? I told you that 2-3 years ago. I just didn't have the official numbers to prove it. But now those numbers are coming out. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the fallout from the failure of the sequel trilogy. It was so bad that even though Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy was all for making a Ben Solo sequel to take place after Rise of Skywalker, good old bobblehead Iger actually had the neurons actually fired for a second, and he had a smart thought. No. So Adam Driver came out yesterday, along with Steven Soderbergh, who worked with him on creating the script, the screenplay for the Search for Ben Solo. Whether you watch the movie or not, you know he died giving a kiss of life to Rey so that the Reylos could be satisfied with their ship. But he's dead. He died. Very simply end to it. But they thought they could bring him back. And that would be ridiculous. And even Bob Iger saw, wait a minute. Okay, now then they knew the numbers that Rise of Skywalker cost over $600 million when all numbers were put together. Production plus marketing. Cost a lot of money. And it didn't break even. It lost money. After he saw that, and they came to him with this idea, even he, in that moment, faced with the losses of what should have been billions instead of hundreds of millions lost, billions made instead of hundreds of millions lost, even he would say no, which is the right move. Because ever since then, Disney Star Wars has been on a continual downward spiral. I can speak. Spiral. There is no such thing as success in Disney Star Wars. Mandalorian Grogu season 1 was a fluke because everybody was trapped in their house. And it's since been proven to be that because there was waning interest in season 2 until CGI Luke Skywalker walked on screen with his dead eyes. Season 3 was a failure. Complete total failure. So it's such a failure that they made a movie because Dave Filoni has power in Lucasfilm and can do whatever he wants. Ahsoka, failure. High Republic, failure. Acolyte, failure. Books, failure. Comics, failure. Andor, despite fake stan praise and bullshit Emmys and political activism, failure. Skeleton Crew, failure. All of this, failures, one after another, losing more and more money. And it started right there at the end of Rise of Skywalker. Now, how they could keep greenlighting stuff after that, I don't understand. You should have shut everything down and went quiet for years and reevaluated. But nope, Dave Filoni's got to have the Filoniverse. Tony Gilroy's got to be political. And Leslie Headland, well, I still can't explain how she got her money to make Acolyte. I still can't explain that one. Oh, wait. Former assistant Harvey Weinstein. She knows where all the bodies are buried. But Ben Solo, worthless character. Bastardized dime store version of Jason Solo. There was no reason to do any of this because there's no money in it. And it's been proven since then there's no money in Star Wars. So this is just funny right now. Now, of course, I hear that there's much gnashing of teeth and crying out on the X Twitter place. People are wailing and screaming. Oh no! How dare you, Bob Iger, not give me my future Reylo stuff? Save Ben Skywalker, Ben Solo. Sorry, save Ben Solo. Do it. But we've seen what those amount to. Those internet campaigns. The Acolyte got you nothing because nobody watched it. Nobody of note or merit cared about it. Disney Star Wars is only going to get worse for Disney. Mandalorian Grogu next year, and I'll be there literally front and center, will literally make only between $350 and $450 million. It will not make money. It will flop, possibly bomb. Starfighter, that's going to fail as well because it doesn't have even the jangly key of Baby Yoda Grogu. It has nothing in it to tease in somebody else. So that thing's going to make $350 to $450 in its budget. I'm sorry, it's gross because of its likely $200 million budget. And they're going to market the hell out of it. Then what you got left? Oh, Ahsoka season 2 next year, where they're going to get gay with it. They're going to go full gay with it. The Filoniverse, failure. And then he'll make his Filoniverse heir to the Empire, which will, God help us. God help us when that happens. So, I mean, I'm not going to rage. I'm not going to freak out here. I'm not going to go on a tirade. But I am simply going to remind you that this was inevitable. This was inevitable because there is no money in Disney Star Wars. None at all. And they can only farm so much from the expanded universe before they can't farm anymore because they've tried so many times. Because, listen, I don't know what they're going to do with Starfighter, but I'm sure there'll be some bastardized stuff from the EU in there. I don't know what they're going to do with... I mean, we know they're already going to bastardize stuff for Ahsoka. You know they're going to bring in Abeloth. They have to. It's Dave Filoni can't help himself. And you know they've already bastardized Thrawn. And then, of course, Mandalorian Grogu. That's already dog shit as it is. There is no saving Disney Star Wars. It never could be saved. Even with Ben Solo movie, which obviously even Bob Iger knew was never going to work. Burn it all down. Burn it faster. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Anyway, all right. I guess I'm done with that for now. All right. Now, let's see. You guys got anything for me? No, you don't, which means let's go to chat. Made me watch this reviews. Okay. Let me set this up properly here. Also, I want to bring something else up. Let me bring up the cast list because I never remember all their names. There's a lot of, that's not the right button. There we go. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? What's it called? Okay, there it is. Okay. Also, now let me bring up the cast list so I can properly remember everybody's names. Because there are a lot of greats in this movie, a lot of classic comedians who were outstanding in television and movies. There it is. It was a TV. Was this a TV movie? It says. Anyway. Okay, so. Okay. Evil Roy Slade. Welcome once again to chat. Made me watch this reviews where the chat basically selects a movie and I watch it and then I review it like this. Today we're doing, wrong button. Evil Roy Slade, starring John Astin, among many other great comedians of the time, including Dom DeLuise, Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney, not so much a comedian, but a venerable actor. Henry Gibson, and many, lots of other people in here. Pat Morita was in this movie. Pat Morita, Mr. Miyagi, was in this movie. So a lot of people were in this movie. And this is, and again, Setlook 3, who chose this movie for me to watch. If you like this movie, I am sorry for what I'm about to say. Because I know you're very supportive of the channel. This movie was terrible. This movie is horrible. It is clearly the epitome of what I call 1970s slop, where you have talent in a project, but the project is dog shit. So what is Evil Roy Slade? It's promoted as a American Western comedy. There was nothing funny in this movie. I didn't laugh once. I didn't even chuckle. Didn't even crack a smile. And again, you have funny guys like John Astin and Dom DeLuise and Milton Berle, Uncle Milty. And you can't make me laugh because the script is garbage. What is this about? Okay, so it's the West, and as the story goes, very cheesily told by an omniscient third-party narrator, Roy Slade was the sole survivor of an Apache attack on a caravan out west, and the Indians didn't want him, the animals didn't want him, nobody wanted him. So somehow he survived and grew up hating the world, and he became evil because all he had was his teddy bear. Hated the world, and he grew up to be a villain, a villain who robbed and stole and cheated and murdered and did all this stuff, but apparently never raped a woman ever, from what you can tell. He still kisses. That's as far as he goes. And that's his story. He grew up evil, so he's a criminal. And he primarily, with no actual reason given to it, steals from a particular company owned by Mickey Rooney's character, who started it as a telegraph company, and he gets the nickname Nubby Finger, which they sing songs about at campfires, which isn't funny. They tried that gag for a little bit in the movie, wasn't funny. And they can't seem to stop Roy Slade, who keeps stealing all the money. So the movie basically is about Roy being evil, And he, during one particular bank robbery, comes across a popular model who had just won a competition called Betsy, whatever. And he steals a kiss from her, but it doesn't feel like any other kiss he's ever stolen. He felt something. He felt nice. And of course, because she's a woman and she's horny, she, of course, fell in love with him instantly from the kiss. And I can fix him. From her perspective, it's an I can fix him story. Meanwhile, Mickey Rooney is obsessed with catching Roy Slade and stringing him up. So he constantly is sending one group after another to try and trap him, including spending the entire movie until the third act to convince some sheriff who you think is a great giant badass, whose manservant is Pat Morita, to come and get Roy Slade. And the guy just keeps saying no, until after the events of where basically Roy wants to give up his life of crime to have a life with Betsy or Betty, whatever her damn name is, because she's convinced him he can change. There's good in him. So after she betrays him once, and then he forgives her, and he takes her back, and they run away to Boston to her family, where he tries to turn over a new leaf, tries to go straight, this and that. Very bad sketches with Milton Berle. Very, very lame comedy stretches with Dom DeLuise as his psychologist, his therapist, trying to get to the root of what makes him angry and evil. And eventually he can't do it because he's confronted with all this money and he just remembers, I like to steal. I like to do this, I like to do that. So he goes evil again in a lot of unfunny ways. And he runs back to the West and resumes his life of crime. Meanwhile, Mickey Rooney's character then manages to lure the great sheriff out of retirement with promise of Roy's jilted girlfriend as a prize. And then it turns out that this great sheriff is a dandy man who sings with a guitar, has a bell earring, and the guitar's a gun, and just walks around singing, and that's how he conquered the West. I don't know. It's really gay. It's really gay. And then time passes as he courts the girlfriend and set up a wedding, all to lure Roy in because Roy still loves her. But Roy is evil. And then there's this whole thing about this whole confrontation at the wedding, and he steals her, and they get away and this and that, and there's a confrontation, and they confront Mr. Guitar playing sheriff man, and they kill him by attacking the guitar. I don't know. I was losing it at this point. My mind is going blank. And then they trap Roy, but they don't trap Roy because he wears her wedding dress and he escapes to continue his life of evil. And that's the movie. One lame joke after another. And it's all, here's the problem with the movie. It's all forced humor. There's no sketch comedy, not good sketch comedy. You have brilliant guys who can deliver stuff like Milton Berle, who can go off book. You have once in a lifetime talent like Dom DeLuise. You have great on-screen performer like John Astin, Gomez Adams. John Astin, who is great, who is funny, but just is delivering one ham-fisted comedy line after another. Terrible jokes. Western jokes on one on top of the other. Jokes about how I'm going to kill yet not kill, how I can't read but I can read. All this kind of stuff, one after another. Jokes about retarded people bad at their job. Jokes about the stubby finger. Jokes about, oh, I like this, but it reminds me of hanging or jail. That is not so funny. There's nothing funny in this movie. Why was this movie made? All that talent and nobody could make a funny joke in it. The writing was god awful. And now, not to tell you, the movie, it's only an hour 35 minutes. The movie plods along in its story. The story is, as I said, it's a story. It has more story than The Room, but it's terrible. I don't like any of these characters. This movie wants you to make you root for John Slade. I'm not rooting for him because he's not even making me laugh. So this movie, really, it's 1970s slop. From 1970 to 1977, a lot of garbage. Very few good things. It's not till you get to 77 where you get Star Wars. You get The Godfather. You get Patton, where cinema suddenly starts to be good again. This is a terrible movie. Look 3, my man, I'm sorry. If you like this movie, I don't know if you gave me this movie because you knew I'd hate it, and I'd be like, what the fuck did I just watch? Or because you actually, if you like it, I'm curious to know what humor you find in it. Because I found no humor in this at all. This was just a slog. An hour, 35 minute slog. There you go. That's all I got, guys. This movie, I do not recommend it at all. Another chat made me watch his reviews. Then again, if you want to make me watch bad stuff, I'm going to react badly to it. So there you go. Wow. Wasn't a long one, but there you go. I fulfilled my bargains. I have nothing else to say. I can't quote it. Nothing to remember it. Nothing, just one Western shtick after another. All right. With that said, it seems you guys are satisfied with the content of today's show. Hit the like button. You can send super chats and tips to make things happen. Clearly, you were fine with it, so we're going to end the show today. I got nothing else. Tonight, we've got Final Fantasy Tactics, Evil East Chronicles, around 8:30. I got to go out for a little bit. Shouldn't be out too long. Then I got to make dinner, so you got to let me feed myself. So we got that. And there'll be some videos out today. So this stuff you saw today. If you watch it live here, go watch it again. Help out as my voice cracks. Anyways, yeah, so we'll be re-uploading some of today's segments as videos later. And tomorrow, Warhammer Wednesday, where I'm sure we will get something entertaining, something enjoyable to watch. So thank you, everybody. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And I will again say, I'm sorry I started today's stream with the fire, with the anger. But again, you go after a friend of mine, and I'm going to react poorly, especially when he didn't deserve it. Thank you, guys. I'll see you later tonight for Final Fantasy Tactics. Until then, take it easy.